as a crazy undergrad, lazy undergrad, what are you going to do if we give you the money to study abroad? What are you going to do to give back? And as lazy as I could answer was I would just share my experience. I thought it was just a simple no-brainer answer, but I had no idea that that path that I took to share about my experience is what led me to start expanding Boundaries International today and learning about how many Americans don't have passports, they don't travel, they don't expand their boundaries, That's how ABI came into place. And so every day, whatever we do is like a give back to all the amazing people who were like a light in the path when I didn't know what the heck to do in this country.
Hey, everybody. We are back with Grow Healthy, Help People, a podcast that Accordis puts on. We love talking to our nonprofit leaders and seeing the difference they are making in their community and in the world. And today we are here with Leticia from Expanding Boundaries International. How are you today?
Good. It's almost Friday. So
Almost Friday. We love that. So tell me where you're calling from.
from Westminster around Baltimore area, if I,
Okay.
Maryland.
Wonderful. And also tell us where you're from.
I'm from Ghana, West Africa.
Ghana, West Africa. So incredible. I love that. How long have you lived here?
The sad thing, I have not been counting,
Yeah.
but yeah, I moved here when I was 15, about
Okay.
yes. So, coming as a kid is like, hey, you're with your parents. So
Yeah, exactly.
yeah,
You just moved and here you are.
yeah.
That's awesome. Okay. Well, I would love to hear how you got to where you are today. What inspired you to start a nonprofit and to create the amazing thing that you have created today with Expanding Boundaries?
Well, thank you so much for the chance to have a chat with you. So for me, I think moving here from Ghana, I had a whole different crazy, how you have a perception about how America is going to be, all kinds of stuff. But I think being the first generation child of my parents, their first education is their last education, their highest education is middle school. So being here in the US with them, I had to really figure out a lot of things by myself. And I had just everyday people coming to my aid, from finding internship, volunteer, getting scholarship for school, scholarship for my study abroad program, which I'll get back on it very soon, has always been selfless individuals who have gone out of their way to help me. And so 2008, I had a chance to do a study abroad to China. And by the way, I went to Morgan State University. So I had a chance to do a study abroad, and I wanted the Gilman International Scholarship, which is administered by the US Department of State. And so the program asked me, as a crazy undergrad, lazy undergrad, what are you going to do if we give you the money to study abroad? What are you going to do to give back? And as lazy as I could answer was I would just share my experience. I thought it was just a simple no-brainer answer, but I had no idea that that path that I took to share about my experience is what led me to start expanding Boundaries International today and learning about how many Americans don't have passports, they don't travel, they don't expand their boundaries, That's how ABI came into place. And so every day, whatever we do is like a give back to all the amazing people who were like a light in the path when I didn't know what the heck to do in this country.
Wow, that's incredible. And I love it so much because I actually didn't realize there were like programs out there for Americans to get that opportunity to go and discover what it's like to study abroad and to take part in that. Growing up, of course, America has a program where we bring in people from other countries. And so growing up, we hosted a lot of students from Japan. And I always felt like this is such a great experience for them. They get to learn this whole new culture and, go to school here, work a job here. It was so incredible. And so I love the opportunity that we also get the opportunity to go and study abroad because, goodness, all over the world, there's so much you can learn and so much you can get from other countries. So I think it's absolutely incredible.
Thank you.
Yes. So tell me about your programs specifically. If someone comes to you and they want to be involved in the study abroad program, how do you identify those people? And then what does it look like once they get accepted into the program?
So one of the stuff that I think when we started the program, it took us like 3 years to really gather data and to understand what our community need. And so for the starters, we worked on providing the passport scholarship and doing local field trips to embassies and stuff like that. And now we have the study abroad program. And what we do is like every year the team apply to as many grants or looking for fundraising, like different ways to gather as much money for our students. And sometimes the grants that we get might be restricted or unrestricted. So mainly it really depends on how much money we have for the year and what are the stipulations that comes with it. So if somebody is interested, I'm one of the people that I say expanded boundaries. I never close my door on any students. If there is a way out, we always figure it out. But it's always open to high school and college students. And sometimes we allow some of the educators to also join us if they are interested in it. Like we always reserve one or two spots for an educator to also join and stuff like that. So high school, college students, if you are all over anywhere in the United States, you are welcome to check in if we have funding for you. If not, we can help you to do fundraising also.
Okay. Awesome. Incredible. So how many different areas do you take students to for the programs?
As of now, we are focusing on Africa right now. And the reason why we are focused on Africa is that by 2050, if I'm not even is probably the date is probably higher, probably like 2030 or 2050, according to the World Bank, Africa will have the most populous youth in the world. And so we are looking at how disadvantaged the region is when it comes to education, innovation, and all that stuff. And then we're also looking at the economic advantage that it can play when it comes to equipping our youth, when it comes to workforce development. And so if they're going to be like 1 in 4 people in the world are going to be Africans, what are we doing to get our youths ready for that? Because they're going to have that, if you ask me, the economic power might really shift to Africa. And so if they have the resources, they have the people and stuff, how can our youth also communicate, engage with them, partnership, business, all that stuff? And so as of now, we are focusing on Africa. And so now we are taking our youth to Ghana for now. And we are working on adding other Asian countries, especially China, because I love when I had a chance to go to China. So we're also working on adding China to our program.
Wonderful. And what's the length of these programs?
14 days. If you ask me, I would love to keep them for a month or like 2 months, but the high school kids, and I know their, what's it called? Their threshold is very limited. So, and many of them is their first time overseas. So we try to, if I wish I can keep them for longer, but I
Yes. Oh, yeah.
yes, I can.
Yeah, I imagine. Do you ever have students who are like at that college age who go on these trips and decide, this is where I want to be, this is what I want to be doing, and then they go back and they start finding ways to serve in Africa or in those other areas?
Yes, I think one of the stuff is we want, I don't know how to explain, when it comes to United States, I always say that it takes the community to allow anything to be possible for the youth. Like around this time, back to school camps, like there's a lot of back to school giving, like the communities coming together, giving out things to the kids, like preparing them for success, all that stuff. Like I remember even when I was in high school, my internship, were funded by those who remember Chevy Chase Bank. It's an old bank. It's no longer available. They were the one coming through to help us to find careers and all that stuff. So one of the things that we are so focused on is like allowing them to see the goodness in America, because many times, because they are here, they haven't experienced anything outside, they feel like there's not that much here for them. And so when they go overseas and they realize that, wow, a lot of people will want to exchange position with me, it gives them that wow factor and it helps them to find themselves. And some of them decide to now come back to the US and have a whole different perspective about themselves and to tap into the resources that they didn't even see were available to them in the first place. So from our students, many of them have come back and now it's like they are more like public servants attitude, the attitude of giving back in their community because they realize that, wow, I didn't see that all these non-profit organizations, all these policies and all that stuff that they were being made. Sometimes it's like, oh, the government is so much in our business, but they realize that other people too will wish the government was that active in the things of our everyday life. And so what I have seen in our youth or our students, especially the college students, is coming back with a sense of gratitude
Right.
for the things that they didn't appreciate before they
Yeah.
left the United States. Yeah.
Absolutely. That's incredible. Yeah. That's such a great thing to come back with and to recognize. And I think probably a lot more of our youth and students need to recognize that and experience that. I think it would really change a lot of their perspective
Yeah.
on how they have it here. So oh, go ahead.
No, I'm saying that when you are in the same square or in the same box,
Hmm.
all that you see is the same colors. So it looks
Right.
like is the status quo is the norm.
Yes.
We used to during the pandemic, we used to do a virtual exchange and stuff with the Baltimore kids and Ghana kids and stuff, and they were learning about some of the things that is happening in Ghana and also in Baltimore. And the kids here in Maryland were complaining about virtual learning,
Mm.
because it's like,
Yes.
oh, they gave us a laptop to still keep
Right.
learning, and the Ghana kids were like we don't even have a face mask.
Yes. Right. It's not the same.
We are just home. We are not learning. Like we are behind already, and
Right.
there's no business continuity happening. So
Yes.
it allowed the American kids to say, "Wow, like we hated the fact that we gotta still learn. So like, oh, we miss our middle school because we were not with our friends. But you get
Mhm.
to go to the next grade. These kids were home
Right.
for 2 years, and now you have like 21-year-old kids and still in high school.
Oh, man.
Yeah.
Wow. Wow. Oh my goodness. Well, how often are you traveling?
We used to do winter and also summer, and now we cut back on just summertime. So yes, so now it's once a year. A lot of people are pushing for twice a year for like spring break and all that stuff. But we are still contemplating. For me, if I'm gonna take you somewhere and it's just like an in and out vacation, then it's not really worth that stress. You have to really be immersed in the community, really absorb something, not just dip your toes and come out. So like a 1 week overseas to me is not justified, I will say. So I haven't thought up. I'm not that comfortable. Like even the 14 days, I still feel like there could be more days and stuff like that. Cause like if I would say living in Baltimore, if anybody comes to the inner harbor, they don't really know what Baltimore is about. Or like they have to be in the, I would say, the trenches, be really among the community, see how day-to-day life is like, not whatever social media or whatever the aesthetics and all that stuff that people are always talking about, but really understand what is the fabric of that community. And so I don't see the 1 week as substantial yet.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah, understandable. So there are obviously a lot of different things that go into the planning and the execution of all of these trips and in the organization. So, where do you feel the biggest challenges are in running the nonprofit? Um, are you lacking in volunteers, people to travel? Is it the funding? Where's your biggest challenge lie?
I would say funding has been the biggest.
Hmm.
We can do more, but we are lacking. And surprisingly, I've been volunteering doing this thing, have not been paid for any of those stuff because I believe so much in this. So all our team just pushing. It is a goal that one day we'll have enough to pay people, but like for now it's like seed sowing time, you know. And so funding has been one of the biggest stuff. And then of course board of directors. We need as amazing board people to who will be like advocates for these kids. And because one person or two people cannot really do the job. And so having some strategic key people is always a key. And of course, I want to use this time to thank our volunteers, uh, and our board of directors too. They have really stepped in to help, but we know that it can get better. Yes.
Yeah, absolutely. And guys, if you're watching this, you're a nonprofit leader. I talk about this all the time because we know that funding is difficult across the board in nonprofits, especially right now. Um, but something that Accordis really likes to come in and help with is campaign strategies. So, in order to get more funding, we have to get our stories out into the public. We have to show people why we do what we do and why their donations matter, what their donations are supporting and going towards and helping. And once we can show them that and really pull them into the mission, that's when we'll start to see people getting involved and starting to give. And we love to help nonprofits do that because we want to see every nonprofit succeed. So if this is something that you're struggling with in your nonprofit and want to get information about how Accordis can help, our website link will be at the end of the show. We not only do campaign strategy, we can help with accounting and database and marketing and social media. Anything in the back office that you might need help in, we would love to support you. So reach out if you have any questions. So let's look towards the future now. You've been doing this for a while, and I know you have some goals. I know you want so much more out of this. So tell me what it looks like to you 5 years down the road. What are you hoping to see? What progress are you hoping to make?
5 years, I see having more great alumni from our study abroad program, really giving back in our community, in our state, globally. I think our students' success is one of my biggest joy. So that is one of my prayer, my goal, like to see them really saying, "Hey, I through the study abroad, I really found who I am and what I'm capable of." And our wildest dream is to have like a culture and like a STEM or STEAM center here in Baltimore, Maryland area, and also in Ghana. So when our kids go to Ghana, they will have a place to stay. That we are not renting hotels and stuff for them, but they have a place where we can just actually in there and explore Ghana through it all. So that's some of the crazy wild dreams that we
Hey, that's
have
incredible.
in the
I
organization. Yeah.
mean, you have to dream big because when you only dream small, only small things happen. But
Yep.
when you dream big, you can make big things happen. And I love that. I love that you have dreams and plans and goals. And I know that you have the passion to make it happen, which is important and which is something every nonprofit needs. So tell me how people can help you reach those goals. Is it through giving? Is it through serving people in your area or maybe not in your area? How can we serve you? How can we best help you to reach those goals?
Thank you. So, one, like you were saying, the marketing, the community, like people getting to know that we exist means a lot to us. Like people sharing our story, forwarding stuff, and joining our team. Like we need architectural designers and all that stuff. Um, we need volunteers, we need board of directors, and also donating into our mission of acquiring. We have a land in Ghana, and so now is the time to really set up the foundation to build that center for the kids. And so donating into our passport scholarship program. That one is like open to anyone in the United States. So We are putting passport. Passport is a universal ID, and $170 support a student who is in high school or college to acquire their first US passport. And so that also goes a long way. So it's like any way possible, we are grateful.
Absolutely. And guys, if you're watching this and this is something that interests you or pulls on your heartstrings and something that you feel like you're passionate about, especially a lot of parents who have students getting to that high school and college age that want them to experience other cultures and other countries. This is such a great thing to get involved in. So, if you're interested, please check out their website. We're going to have it linked at the end of the show. They would appreciate funding to help make this happen because every nonprofit needs funding, every nonprofit needs support, and you can help support giving those kids the opportunity to do this. If you're interested in taking on a board role or any other active role that could help support the organization, reach out to them. I know they would love to hear from you because as all organizations, we love to hear from people who are passionate about what we are doing. So please reach out to them. Again, we will have the website linked at the end of the show. Letitia, it has been so great talking to you today. I've loved learning all about what you are doing, and I wish you the absolute best in the future.
Thank you so much.
Yes, absolutely. Guys, we will talk to you next time.